Are your photos driving you nuts on your iPhone? Join me now for some tips and tricks on using Apple Photos. Hi, I'm Molly Bartelt, owner of Pixologie, where we help people feel confident and motivated in saving their family memories. Lots of people tell me how much they hate their phones and how their pictures are organized on them. As a rule, I recommend that people save their photos on their computer, but that's a topic for another day. Sometimes you just want to know how to work with your Photos app, and Apple doesn't really give you a handbook, do they? No, they leave you to go to the website for a couple pages with basic instructions, or the community where you can post questions and maybe get a good answer. I'm here today to kind of walk you through the Photos app, and I'm also going to show you how you can use folders and albums to maybe get a little bit more of a handle on your collection of photos, screenshots, pictures for information, and all of that stuff. If you're needing more general tips and ideas about getting your family memories in order, definitely hit the subscribe and the bell buttons so that you're alerted when we upload new videos to help you. Let's take a walk through the Photos app together. So I am currently in the library view. You can see that down at the bottom. Library is selected, and this view shows you everything that is in your Photos app. The only way you get rid of a picture out of this view is to delete it. And I know sometimes people want to get rid of, the things that aren't family memories, but unfortunately everything shows up in here. You can click years, months, days, if you want to change, what you're looking at or get to like an earlier quicker. If you click on all photos, this is where I like to be for the most part, especially because I can scroll up and I get a little bit of an update on my photo collection. So here you can see I have 13,925 photos, 640 videos, and 61 items not synced to the cloud. I got to clean that up. It's on my to-do list this week. That's the library view. You do have the ability to click the select at the top and then check pictures for sharing, deletion, or whatever. So you can do that. And then there's 3 dots here for a few other options that you might want to take a look at. That's the library view. Then I want to show you the For You tab. Here, Apple generates slideshows for you, things that you can watch and enjoy. Like this is a trip that my daughter and I were on years ago, and if I open it, it's going to play a slideshow for us. The sound is off at the moment, but it's just something that's system generated. I don't do much in the For You tab because I don't really have time, but I know my mother-in-law spends a lot of time watching the videos that her iPhone photos makes for her. All right, next up is albums. Albums is really a kind of an unknown area. Sometimes people end up in here and they don't quite know what they're working with, but it can be really powerful for you. In the albums view, you're going to see a few things. The first area is My Albums. And then you're going to see shared albums, and then you're going to see people, pets, and places, which is Apple generating albums for you. And then you'll see media types. And in case you're looking for the recently deleted, it's right there down at the bottom. In My Albums, you'll see all these different albums that you may or may not have created. Some people have hundreds of albums, which is really awful to scroll through. You can see here I have 3 that don't have anything in them, and that's kind of irritating. And we'll talk more about working in this view in a bit. In the search area, you can search for anything. Like if you type in dogs, Apple's artificial intelligence has searched through your pictures and knows which photos have your pets in them. At least the dogs and cats. I don't know about the other ones. You can also type in a month and a year and it'll pull it up. You can search by people and places. It gives you categories like, oh my gosh, this is vehicles. And my daughter is putting away a cart that someone hadn't put away. I don't know why they call that a vehicle, and they called the inner tube a vehicle. You can tell it's not always quite as accurate as you expect, but it can be fun. The searching area there is actually pretty powerful if you're looking for something. Hopefully you can, tap in a few words and find what you're looking for. That's the walkthrough that I wanted to give you. If you're an iPhone user and you use a Mac computer, you can use the Photos app on your computer to manage the folders and albums much easier than what I'm going to show you now on the phone. We're going to start off in my albums view. All right. Right off the bat, you're going to see that you probably have albums you don't need to keep. Like I have Adobe Scan and Typorama. I'm just going to click and hold it down and select Delete Album to get rid of those. They're kind of annoying. All right, and that's pretty straightforward. Now you can see I have Recents and Favorites at the top. These are the system generated folders you don't really have much control over, other than in Favorites you can heart your pictures and they'll show up there. Right under there are folders, and you can tell they're folders because there's 4 small squares in the big square. So if I open up Work Photos, you can see I have 7 albums in here plus 1 album that says All Photos. The only way you can make a folder on your phone here is to click the Edit button at the top left and then click the plus sign in the left corner up there. So I'll click New Folder. I'm going to call this Screenshots. Lots of people have screenshots of all sorts of purposes. So you could have recipes, you could have text messages. It might be nice to have one location where you can find them all and if you want to take the time to do this. So I'm going to click Done. Now I can click into that Screenshots folder, and at the top right, click Edit, plus sign. I'm going to just click New Album, and I'll call this Text Messages. Okay, and I'll click Save. And the app is prompting me to select a few. If you don't have any to select right at the moment, you can just click Cancel at the top left. I've got mine selected and I'm going to click Add. So now I have my first album in Screenshots. So I go back to my albums. You can see my Screenshots folder with 1 album in it. You have to be really thoughtful about how you make your albums because the iPhone app does not allow you to move an album into a folder. Okay, so you have to make the folder first and then add the album inside. Another way that you can add photos to an album is to go to your library view, and I'm going to just select some flower pictures here. I've selected these flower photos and I'm going to click the share button, and then I'm going to click Add to Album. And here I can name the new album. I'll just call it Flowers, and I'll save it. If I wanted it to be in my Screenshots folder, let's say, I would have had to chosen Screenshots and then made the folder inside that. So let's do this one more time. Let's just select, there's a Post-it notes screenshot. So I'm going to click the Share button, and then scroll down to Add to an Album, and I'm going to go into my Screenshots folder and click New Album, and I'll put Shopping in there. And now I've got an album in Screenshots that's for shopping and for text messages. You can see this could be really time consuming, but it is fun when things are organized in folders and albums on your phone. It just looks a lot neater. So one other album I'll point out is I love having this Photos for Information album because that's where I drop all the things I really need to see. That's folders and albums in a nutshell. How does that sound? Do you think this is something that would be helpful for you? If you can leave a comment below, I'd love to hear what you think. Every day that we're taking photos, we're potentially adding to the chaos on our phone. Are you looking for a better system? Watch this video next about the #1 habit to getting a control on your collection. That's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you the next time.